بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وخاتم النبيين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'm your brother Abdul-Lateef, Abdul-Lateef from both Arabic Virtual Academy as well as Abdul-Lateef.com. Today I want to finish having a discussion with you, or continue our discussion on suggestions or proper ways to raise children or raise the youth. Now, the part of it we want to discuss today is a lot of us as parents, we make a major mistake when it comes to raising our children. We decide what our kids want to do. We push them into what we want them to do and who we want them to be, instead of allowing them to figure out where their own interests are. What do they like and what don't they like? A lot of times this comes because we don't discuss with them these types of issues. We don't discuss with our children. We talk to them, not with them a lot of times. We don't find it necessary to find out what do they like. What types of things do they think about? What types of things do they lean towards? What types of discussions do they like having about what types of issues? And, for some, it's just because it wasn't done to them. So they're doing what they saw those that came before them do to them, they're doing it to their children. Some, it may be a little bit more dealing with arrogance. Not to say anyone's an arrogant individual, but it may have some more to do with arrogance. Because not too many of us are interested in allowing our children to tell us about things we don't know. As parents, we're supposed to know it all. What? Admit that you know something I don't and you're my child? Never. Whether we say it or we don't say it, a lot of us hold this concept to be true, or this idea to be true. And we have to leave this off. We can't keep trying to pretend like we know everything. Especially the young adults, young teenagers to the young adult age. We need to find out what they like. This one may be into plumbing. This one may be into carpentry. This one may be into computer programming. This one may be into this. We're only going to find this out through having discussion with these individuals. Who are they? Not who do we want them to be. And once we find out what it is that they're interested in, and as parents and as older people, it's upon us to introduce them to a lot of things because they themselves might not know what they're into. We should be introducing them to people of all different walks of life. You'll see naturally they'll lean towards a certain type of individual because they have similar interests. We have to start to feed this once we find where their interests are. We have to begin to feed this interest that they have. Getting them materials, learning materials. Setting them up to be able to do small-time jobs or apprentice jobs with some of these individuals, or aid them, or set up little classes for them dealing with what it is that they need to learn to push them further into. We need to support the development of these individuals working in that which is interesting to them, that which they're interested in, that which they want to move further in because they have a natural something that's drawing them to this thing. Because many of us, we live lives where we may work in a situation or work doing something we don't like. And it's work. But some of us are blessed, and you know who you are, to be working in a field that you love and your work is not work. Technically it is. But I think the majority of you understand where I'm going. You enjoy doing what you do. You don't get tired of it so much and you don't really hate doing it. You enjoy your job because it is from amongst those things that you're interested in. We need to push our youth to finding those things that they're interested in and pushing them to help them get better in these things. How do we do this? Like I said, one way that always seems to work, introduce them to people from different walks of life. We'll find that they lean to this one or lean to this or have discussions with this one over that one. Yes, they'll learn about some of these different things in these different fields in general, but there'll be something generally a lot of times that will grab them. And you'll see it happen. Not only will you see it, but you'll hear them. You'll hear it in their discussions. Now, this is where we need to humble ourselves a little bit. Once they find that thing or those things that interest them, we need to feed this. Whether they might like engineering. And I don't know if they have it anymore or not. I may be showing my age, but there used to be a magazine that I used to love. My parents got me a subscription for when I was younger. It was called Popular Mechanics. I don't know if they still have it on the shelves now or not. But these are the types of things we need to be doing for our children. If they're into computers, magazines dealing with computer programming and whatever it is, dealing with new types of hardware, you'll find that they'll soak that up. And like I said a minute ago, this is where we need to humble ourselves because we need to begin discussing these things with them. Again, it's about not just them getting the information, but processing and being able to verbalize that which they're learning and express themselves in that language. So you may not really have a question about what it is that they're doing, but you need to ask questions. You need to sit back and let them tell you about it. Whether you want to know for yourself, you need to do it for the youth so that they can get used to explaining what it is that they like. They can get used to aiding others and answering questions about whatever it is that they're moving in, the direction that they're moving into. We need to aid them in this way. We need those things that we don't know about what they're jumping into. We need to let them teach us certain things about it. Especially if it's something that is related to something that we're doing that we need. We shouldn't feel ashamed to have to look to our children for help, especially with information. Especially if this is their interest, this is what they do, this is who they are. It gives them a sense of being needed and they're part of something bigger. Not just a child in the house, but I'm a necessity. These are the feelings that we need to be giving our children. When they go out into the workforce, they need to understand so others will understand that, listen, I'm a necessity here. You need me here. So they're not looking at themselves as though, well, I really don't matter. No, you matter. Do you understand? We need to start trying to help aid our children and aid the youth in moving in a positive direction. And when we find them leaning towards this and working, doing these types of things and, practicing what it is that they're learning, discussing it, teaching, we need to encourage them to continue going further. There's nothing wrong with patting them on the back and saying, you know what, you're doing a really good job. I'm proud of you. Look at what you have that the majority of everyone else that we know doesn't have. Look at what Allah's blessed you with. Don't waste it. Look at what Allah made easy for you to pick up. Do you know how long it would take everyone else to pick up what it is that you have right now? Let them know that they're important with what they have. It doesn't matter if it's cooking or sewing or anything of the sort. If it's something that they're really interested in, 9 times out of 10, they will easily excel in this thing, which will give them that hands up or that step up that they need to feel good about themselves and feel good about what they do and what they can develop, or what it is that they can do and add to other individuals' lives in the future. We need to support our youth in becoming what they can become. And this comes, and we do this again to recap this point because it's important. We need to find out where their interests lie. Watch the video again. I talked about how we can do this. We need to engage them in conversations about these things. Again, I discussed this. And we need to push them to continuing forward and giving them that encouragement and that aid and the materials they need to do so that they can be successful and they can help to build a successful future for the future generations, as well as it'll give them that example on how they should be dealing with future generations and how they should be bringing them up and pushing them forward so that, our future is a little brighter. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So inshallah, we'll end this video here. If you have any suggestions about anything we mentioned here or have any other ideas as to what could be beneficial, let us know. This is definitely information that needs to be passed on because you see that a lot of us were dropping the ball because we're not doing these things. We're not really helping our children as much as we can because we're ignoring this part of our responsibility. May Allah Ta'ala forgive us for our shortcomings, allow us to be better role models and better individuals that raise our children and raise the youth in general in terms of the community. And may Allah Ta'ala accept from all of us our efforts. Ameen, ameen, Allahumma ameen. Like I said, if you have any other suggestions, let us know. And I'll try to get with each and every one of you as I usually do. Just, again, I ask you to have a little patience with me. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.